One of the events we were privileged to participate in at the Parliament of the World's Religions in Melbourne was an interreligious panel entitled Practicing Yoga, Covert Conversion to Hinduism, or the Key to Mind-Body Wellness for All. At this largest ever interfaith gathering, many panels, including this one, focused on the interface of cultures and religions. With yoga becoming so popular in the world, it was a natural candidate for reflection, and the results were, as you will see, fascinating. The Parliament defined the issue and thus points of discussion. The science of yoga has grown enormously on the global stage in the last few decades due to widespread recognition of its physical and mental health benefits. Hinduism teaches that yoga is comprised of 8 steps, of which the popularly practiced postures are an integral part. Although yoga's origins are Hindu, its practitioners come from virtually all faiths. The United States alone has about 20 million practitioners, with hundreds of millions worldwide. However, the Hindu roots of yoga and the use of Hindu chants, such as the sacred syllable Om, appear to have created apprehensions that the practice of yoga leads to de facto conversion to Hinduism. Yet, as a pluralistic, non-exclusivist, and non-proselytizing religion, Hinduism teaches that one need not become a Hindu or repudiate one's own faith to practice yoga and reap its benefits. How founded is the fear of conversion? Is the practice of yoga inconsistent with the tenets of other religions? Can interfaith dialogue help individuals, irrespective of faith, reap the immense benefits that follow from the practice of yoga? The aim of this program is to foster understanding among faith traditions and to create a sustainable basis for the practice of yoga by all. Reverend Ellen Grace O'Brien, spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Enlightenment and a minister in the Kriya Yoga tradition, moderated the panel discussion. 5 panelists presented diverse viewpoints. Dr. Amir Farid Isahak, a practicing Malaysian Sufi, said that, in his interpretation, yoga can be practiced by Sufis without compromising their religion, provided they are careful about which practices they choose and as long as they focus on the goal of achieving proximity to God, but not unity. Professor Christopher Key Chappell shared information on the philosophical goals of yoga, as expounded in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. He also spoke of the presence of yoga in Jainism and Buddhism to demonstrate that long ago, yoga moved beyond the boundaries of Hinduism. Leigh Blaschke of the Australian Institute of Yoga stressed that yoga practice should not be divorced from the spiritual disciplines that are its core. Suhag Shukla, a Hindu who grew up in the U.S. and now a board member of the Hindu American Foundation, was adamant that yoga and its path of meditation are vital Hindu practices, integral to the religion. My presentation noted that today most popular yoga schools present yoga as a path of unitive mysticism, a meditative regimen that ultimately leads to experiencing the soul's oneness with God. Here is my summary of the issue. The term yoga refers to a wide variety of Hindu practices. Therefore, it is always helpful when discussing yoga to modify the word with a second term to clarify what particular kind of yoga is being discussed. The yoga that is the subject of this panel is commonly referred to as Ashtanga yoga. Ashta means 8 and Anga means limb. The idea is that this system of yoga comprises 8 progressive practices. Sage Patanjali is credited with being the first person to present the ancient tradition of yoga in a systematic way. He did this in his Yoga Sutras, a famous literary work thought to date back as far as 200 BCE. For simplicity, when I use the word yoga in this presentation, I am referring to Ashtanga yoga. Vamadeva Shastri, a respected author on yoga, astrology, and Ayurveda, rightly states that the meditative side of yoga is little known. Quote, "Yoga today is most known for its asana, yogic posture, tradition, the most popular, visible, and outward form of the system. Buddhism, by comparison, is known as a tradition of meditation, as in the more popular forms of Buddhist meditation like Zen and Vipassana. Many people who have studied yoga in the West look to Buddhist teachings for meditative practices, not realizing there are yogic and Vedantic forms of meditation which are traditionally not only part of the yogic system, but its core teaching. In the Yoga Sutras, only 3 sutras out of 200 deal with asana. The great majority deal with meditation, its theory, and results."